Hey, everyone, Sawmill Charlie. Well, welcome to another Friday night bee chat. Hope everybody's doing good. Hey, Rob, Roy. Hey, Norman. We got Kathy and we got George. Get set up here a little bit. Get these screens arranged so I can drop all the links and everything. This stupid screen does not want to cooperate. And all that. Uh, and there's Rick from Block Farm Apiaries. Let's see. Oop, wrong button. All right, the link is dropped. All right, now. And it is pinned. There's Bill. Hey, George. Looks like you might be new. Welcome. Hey, Keith. Who else we got? Hey, there's Joe. Is that one of your friends, George or Bill?
Who's that?
George?
No, I just might be. I don't know.
There's David. David's
Hi,
having.
Donna.
Hey, Dinah. I watched your video, Dave.
Fun times.
You were working with the cell or mating boxes and all that stuff.
Yep, fun times.
Are you still using the little ones?
No, I'm done with the queen rearing for this year.
Okay.
55 was a little too much for one hit, and I couldn't move enough. I sold about 10 of them, and then I requeened all the rest of my hives, all my old queens, and now I am trying to make do with what's left.
Okay. George is Kathy's husband, and her last name is Keith.
Yeah.
There's Mr. Norman.
Evening, gentlemen.
How's it going?
Oh, I can't complain.
So, David, what did you do with 50-some queens? Did you sell some or use them all?
I sold 10. I requeened all my last year's hives, except for 2. I kept the queen that swarmed, and I kept the queen that was the mother of all the 55.
Yeah, the grafting queen.
Yeah, and then I just made a whole bunch of splits. I got about, how many I got left? Was it 1, 2? I think I got 6 left that are still in the mini mating nukes, still rocking. I got 4 5-frame nuke boxes that I got to put them in, but I've just been slowly, about every week, I've been doing about 4 or 5 splits and introducing the queens into those.
Yeah. Welcome to Halo Honey. Or is that Halo? Yeah, Halo 21 Honey. He's down about 25 minutes from my house. Good to see you that you're on. And so what's your total amount of hives you got now? Close to 50?
Got 28 in double boxes. Was it 718 or 714? About 25 frame nukes right now, and I think there's 6 mini mating nukes left that have queens in them.
Yeah, I had one of my. I actually got 2 queens, I guess it is there. 2026 queens that I made, and the one was in a 2-framer, and she was doing quite well. And I went ahead and switched her over to 5 frames at the same location. I haven't, and I've been feeding them, and they hopefully make it through the winter and build up and everything else. Hey, Rodney, and all that. So and then, like you say, I got all my hives requeened. Haven't been able to. I went in a couple weeks or a week or a couple weeks ago, I guess was I checked on a few, and they all seem to be up and running quite well. So all the queens have took over and taken over the hive, so that's good. And I don't know, I had one nuke out there that it was in 3 medium boxes, and I'm not sure if it's the one I'm thinking of. I had put a medium in the middle of the stack where it was more or less semi-drawn comb. It was more or less foundation, and I was hoping for them to take and draw that out. They've been bearding a little bit, so I went out there. I opened them up yesterday, and I just took the top off just to take a real look-see, and there was bees everywhere. I'm like, yeah, they're getting crowded. That's why they're bearding so much. So I went ahead and I happen to have a frame or a box of medium drawn comb, brood comb, and I stuck on there. So hopefully if I can get out there after, maybe I'm not sure if it's going to stop raining in the afternoon tomorrow or not, like the weather people state, and maybe look into that hive and see what's happening. What's Joe saying?
He's asking me where I got my royal jelly from.
Oh, okay.
Hang on a second, Joe, and I can tell you where I got it.
I haven't been noticing bearding with my hives. Mine are kind of semi-shaded most of the day, but I have actually, that's a lie. So I have noticed something. I just thought about it. The ones that I don't have the slatted racks on are bearding. The ones that have the slatted racks on are not. So I'm wondering if it's just they're using the slatted racks to circulate air better. So I got about 15 hives.
I don't know. I mean, I know that my understanding of a slatted rack was more or less an extension where they would bring the comb all the way down to the bottom of the frames, or as far as the egg laying part of it. And then they could also hang underneath there for ventilation too. And all
So it's the slatted rack for, I guess it's for both hot and cold, I guess.
Yeah. So what I've been reading for the slatted racks is during the winter time, it acts as like a temperature break. Like if there's wind coming, it'll stop down there at the bottom, and it doesn't necessarily go straight into the frames.
Yeah, like an igloo. So they're all up in here instead of it coming all the way down to there.
Right.
If that makes sense of my little drawing. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard people talk about, they came out with them things years ago, and people used them for a while, and then they got rid of them. It was just an extra piece of equipment. Now it seems like there's somewhat of a popularity thing of it again.
So I screwed mine to my bottom boards. So it's my bottom board. It's just like one whole piece. So like it's not another piece I got to take off. So whenever I move the bottom board, the slatted rack's going with it. And I kind of noticed that it seems like the bees, like when I pull that bottom deep off, there is a ton of bees down there just hanging out. And what I got to thinking is they go down there to get out of the way of anything that's working inside the frames. So if they don't have a job, they just get out of the way. Whereas if you didn't have the slatted rack, they would either be.
Well, do you see here? Says they give the bees the congestion area underneath the rack, and then control over the flow of the airflow.
Yeah.
And he says that lets more of the condensation happen under the colony instead of above. help with moisture. They help a little with swarm control. I don't know about that part of it, but
Yeah, I definitely had one with a slatted rack swarm, possibly two. I don't know what happened to one queen. I don't know if they got rid of her or they swarmed, but
hey, Mike.
didn't catch
Hey,
that
Charlie, if I text you a link, you post it for Joe?
Yeah, just send it to Messenger. It's easier for me.
That's what I'm going to do.
But, depends on, if that's, if it works for you, that's great,
Yeah.
I can see some of the logic of that because, if you got a young hive, like I had, all my hives were young last year and I got the big, massive frames and a lot of them would only draw down and then they wouldn't draw out the bottom 2 inches. So it would all be, exposed foundation down there. So it's like, yeah, they're just not comfy down there. So if you had a slatted rack, pushes your comb up higher, they're more likely to draw it out. And then when they want to hang out down low, they can hang out down low. So yeah, I can see the logic. So if you need it, it's great to have. But if you don't need it,
Yeah, the reason I got them was I used the Apamay bottoms last year. They are good, and I'm not knocking the Apamay bottoms, but they got too many holes in them. Too much.
We got a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with those things.
Yeah, there are. There's a lot of holes in them.
Yeah, and it's another thing you got to maintain because I've noticed I still have them. I'm using them. Like I ran out of bottom boards. I had to use them for the other hives that I got. And when I pull that when I pull that bottom deep off of the ones with the slatted racks, the bottom board is clean other than it's yellow from the pollen that comes in. Like they do a good job cleaning house. Whereas the Apamay bottoms, all the trash falls through the holes into the catch tray.
Yeah.
Another thing you have to clean. Like I said, I'm not knocking Apamay bottoms. But switching to a slatted rack screw to a normal bottom board, and that's what I did. I did the slatted racks on the normal bottom board, and I took one of the sliding queen reducer. Reducers that you can buy from like Amazon and all that. I screwed that to the slatted rack, just like an Apamay bottom board, just way less holes.
Mm-hmm.
There's something that
I started messing with something the last
Rick
couple.
talked about out there in Nebraska, the Marion mouse guard, simple device that helps the bees to draw clear to the bottom of the frames. I have to look that up.
Something I've been messing with the last couple of weeks, and I'm getting it onto most of my hives. I'm replacing the double bubble with actually a cut up sail from like a sailboat. So like Dacron. So it's really nice, old Dacron that, from a throwaway sail, I'm cutting it into sections and using that. So anyways, the point to this that applies to what we're talking about here is I have a few hives that are kind of double stacked. So it's like, I'll have like a proper hive below, and then I'll have like a real lean hive above it, right? Kind of like a nuke above it. So because of that, they're actually using the sailcloth as kind of the front door and all that, and they just love it. They're like just hanging out on it and all that. It's kind of hilarious. So everybody loves hanging out on a sail.
But I think you'll find with that cloth, who was it? There's different beekeepers that the older beekeepers use that. They'll propolize that on the one side.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like you say, like a canvas, that's what sails are, I guess.
Yeah. It's like a
close knit cotton canvas, and the bees do well. You actually can fold it. If it's going to be your inner cover, you might call it. You could actually roll that back. I've seen where you can buy from Man Lake. You roll it to one side, and you would keep half your hives covered up, and then you're pulling frames off of this side or off the other side, and it reduces the bees getting upset and stuff like that.
So when you watch Ryan Williamson's videos, he uses a lot of fabric, like inner cover style things, and he just they are propolized. You can see it. He does the same thing. He just folds them over.
Yeah, they do. So I'm just trying to get away from the double bubble for that, but I haven't. But because, anyways, back to like we're talking about bottom boards, and that my upper hives loves using the front lip of the inner cover of the hive below it as a landing board. It's like, I'm really curious. Like, I don't know how I would do it, but if I can kind of, put this sailcloth over top of my bottom board or something like that, just to see what they think of it and how clean they would keep it. Because, there's some bottom boards that are just absolutely just garbage everywhere. But if they had a nice surface like that, like, would they keep it spotless?
Probably depends. Over time, it would probably just get dirtier and dirtier, and then they just get lazier and lazier. That's what I was like. I'm going to switch over to just doing solid bottom boards with the slatted racks from here on out whenever I get new stuff. Yeah. Because the cleaning the Apamay bottom boards, that can be a pain. Plus, that's a lot of resources. If anybody's ever had Apamay bottom boards and you're not putting like diatomaceous earth or something in the bottom of them or using them as a pollen trap, they are still a pollen trap. They catch what the bees drop, and they catch a lot of it. And the bees just lose that at that point. It's just wasted energy. So like switching to the solid bottom boards, they get to pick up what they drop on the ground and take it back up. Can't do that with the Apamay bottoms. And like wax, like little pieces of wax that they drop. Like I'm not kidding. Like the bottom boards are clean, other than they're just yellow from the pollen.
Yeah. Some are like that.
And that's on a solid bottom.
Mm-hmm. A solid bottom with a slatted rack, and that's why at that point I'm gonna keep going with that, just so the bees don't lose all that resource. Because there'd be sometimes I'd pull out like a small dinner plate worth of like pollen and stuff that just fell through the Apamay bottom board that they couldn't get to.
Well, the Apamay is what, a plastic mesh of some sort?
It's got a bunch of holes in it. It's a picture like a pizza sheet. It's got all the little holes in it.
Yeah.
It's just like that, but the bees can't get through it. But small hive beetles can fall through it, but bees can't fit through it.
Yeah, if they can fall through it, they can climb up through it too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'd answer Flower Street's question. What I don't like about double bubble, like I've been using it, lots of it, and it's been great and all, but I find that, when you use it as gasket material between your boxes, all those bubbles pop anyways. So that's useless. And then on top of that, I find like I'm in a really wet environment, is that just water gets into it. And it just gets saturated. And it'll leak out here and there, depending on like where there's a little tiny poke hole here or a poke hole there. And, and the other thing is, like, I find that once it's propolized down and I go to peel it back, the bees are always really pissed off.
It's really loud.
Yeah.
Like ripping it off.
Yeah, exactly. They always seem a little bit more upset than they need to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, double bubble's great, but there's just a couple of downs. I'm just trying to see if I can, keep all the upside and get rid of the downside. That's what I'm doing with this sailcloth.
What do you find the sailcloth? Have you used it long enough for them to propolize it, and then when you pull it off, you don't hear any popping or whatever?
It's only been 2 weeks. I don't know. They are propolizing the corners, but it comes off real easy so far. Like a few, but yeah, I couldn't really. I haven't had it on long enough to give you a definitive answer.
Well, the bubbles on the double bubble, I guess when you pull it, you hear Ian and them, and you hear that crackle. I presume, I guess it's also the bubbles on the burr comb and all that stuff. It's getting caught too.
Yeah.
So Norman, I have a question for you. You're using double bubble in the summer, correct?
Yeah.
Why?
To keep them from properlizing down my inner covers. But I'm not using I'm not using double bubble anymore. I'm using sailcloth now as an
Okay.
inner cover.
But you have a tele cover, right? Not a migratory cover.
Yeah, I have a telecover. Yeah.
So you can use. There's an Enel dealer in Canada. You can use a propolis trap over with the telecover over top of it, and it gives them a place to put propolis other than, in the hive itself.
Okay.
And that way, if you get a couple of them per hive, when one gets full, you put it in the freezer and you put the other one on, and it gives you another product to sell out of your hive.
Yeah, because I had that license 6-frame nuke, and that was what the inner cover was a propolis trap.
And a Enel propolis trap.
Yeah, it's like a piece of. It's not even hard plastic. It's like a piece of cloth. But it's got holes in it. But they'll propolize that thing and all that. It worked fine. I had a lot of people. They never put that on, and then they were complaining about because it was a domed roof, because that's the style of feeder they were using in that thing. It would they would put bird comb up in there. I said, well, if you put the trap in there where they sent you, it would have worked, and it does. But it's soft. It's a soft cloth.
That propolis trap is flexible.
Yeah, it's flexible.
Very flexible. So you can take it and you can bend it even when it's been frozen. You can bend it and work it like this, and the propolis will pop out of it.
I'm debating getting a bunch of those and putting them in like around September. Seeing what they can do with it.
What, to sell propolis?
Yeah, maybe. I just want to see what it's like.
I keep mine in all summer.
Well, you just keep taking it in once it's full, or mostly full, and just swap it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's like
it's
almost like
a
queen excluder.
Mm-hmm. It's
like a queen excluder, except it's not as wide. It's smaller. The bee cannot go through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is I think that's in the United States. Let me look here. No.
Yeah, with the double bubble or Reflectix, whatever you want to call it. I put mine last year. I put it on right before I sealed up all the hives, or just winterized all the hives. And then as soon as it got warmer this year, I took it all off and stored it away to try and keep them from propolizing it down, so it didn't get all dirty and I can reuse it again.
Mm-hmm.
But I did. I had an inner cover, so mine was the top deep inner cover, and then I put the Reflectix or double bubble, and then the telescoping lid. They weren't necessarily up messing with it. If anything, they would be propolizing down the inner cover still. Plus, it gave them like those extra air gaps at the top.
That's that air gap. That's the other thing about the double bubble. Like if you stop using it, it'll stop pushing down on the top of your frames. And then the bees have a little bit of bee space at the top of your frames if your boxes are proper.
Right.
Like if you don't have if your boxes aren't flush, if you don't have like the metal risers, you just got the wood, then you got the bee space up there. You can use that. And that'd probably work with this propolis trap probably quite well. Yeah, that's kind of neat. That's why I come here, Bill. That's why I come here, Bill.
Yeah, to get the ideas, right? So there's a couple of beekeepers supply stores in Canada that may or may not sell it. One of them is Backyard Beekeeping Supply Company, and the other one's Beekeeper Supply in Canada. I'm trying to find it now for you.
Yeah. Hopefully they're West Coast.
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out.
You know, it's funny actually. Most of the bee stuff comes out of Manitoba, it seems, which isn't a bad thing.
Is that where Ian's at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian, Brad, all live in Manitoba.
That's probably why. Be close to the people that are that need it the most.
Well, you got Brad, and then you got the professor. There's a guy that's a college professor, but he has bees too, and I can't remember his name now.
Let me make a phone call tomorrow, and I'll see what I can find out for you.
All right.
Because they're hard to find in Canada. Because the guy up there that sells it, that is the distributor in Canada, it's not a good relationship with Anel for that distributor. So I just need to figure out who's got them.
Oh boy, yeah. Don't even worry about it. 3 for 22.
I mean, it's worthwhile looking into for you. I mean, you know, I sell them fairly cheap, but the shipping to get it to you from me,
oh yeah, it's nuts.
It's international shipping, and it's not pretty.
Yeah, that's the thing. Whenever I have stuff shipped into Canada, like if I'm not buying it by the pallet, it's like it's not uncommon for me to pay twice as much for the shipping and as for the product, and then there's taxes on top of that as well. So it's like
you got 20 of those
4 times.
If you got however many hives you got, if you got like 20, 24 of those, would the shipping be that outrageous? Because like I'm thinking it would probably be like what, 6 inches, 8 inches.
There's 65 to a case, I believe.
Yeah, what are you selling a case for?
Well, hang on a minute. Let me send this email.
At that point, it would, because it'd probably be better if you bought double the amount that you had. Because like what Bill was saying, that he just swaps them out. Like when they get full, you just put a new one in there and take the old one, put it in the freezer, and break it off or break it up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I find that it's much better to have twice the amount of equipment I think I need, because then it turns out I needed all of it, and then I'm still short.
I ran into the problem this year that I got twice the amount of equipment that I thought I needed, and I used it all, and now I'm out.
Yeah, I have that exact same problem.
So now it's like, oh crap, do I got to buy twice what I have right now next year? Probably. I'm thinking next year I'm not going to expand that much. I'm just going to focus on production hives next year and queen rearing.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yep.
Good luck with that.
Easier said than
Because you know what, growth is really hard to
stop.
Yeah, how do you stop? Because then like you hear all these guys whining and complaining about swarms, and it's like, what? That's not my problem.
No, I'm gonna pull them back. I have a bunch of 5-frame nuke boxes that I'm going to utilize next year that are going to be empty by the end of the year. Mm-hmm. And I could probably sell nukes in the beginning of the year, or just start queen rearing a little earlier than I did this year. But I'm definitely the mini mating nukes worked well this year. Like, I don't know what it was. Last year I had a hard time getting them going. This year, nothing really changed other than I had like one frame of comb in each one of them. But I had damn near 100% on 40 mini mating nukes.
Wow.
And I lost three. Three of them they just did away. They killed the queen cell. So I requeened them after all the rest of them hatched. And then after I requeened those three, I think I lost one. Outside of that, then but yeah, it's just such a pain working with them. I'd rather work with 5-frame nukes than those little mini mating nukes at this point.
Well,
Norman, I sell them for $8 a piece.
$8 a piece. Okay.
Yeah.
American money.
So like $50.
American money. So 65 of them to a case is $520.
All right. And if I'm gonna go, if I don't find a better price, I'll bug you. I'll bug you for weights and shippings and all that
Okay.
offline.
All right.
Yeah, I may look into some of those myself.
No, that looks like a neat idea. But yeah, those minis, like my experience with them this year, yeah, yet again another unmitigated disaster with them. Although that being said, it's like I managed when I needed a queen, there was always a queen in a mini nuke somewhere.
Right.
But it's like I put I got like 30 of these things going, and it's like, I pulled like 5 queens out of them, and I don't know that any of them got mated. It was just kind of like a placeholder for virgin queens.
Yeah, I had it's kind of weird. I don't know where this queen came from, but I was out feeding the bees one day, and I just saw this big ball in the front of one of the little mini mating nukes. And I was like, what's going on there? So I walked over there, and then I heard like piping or whatever was going on. I was like, she can't get out, because at this point, all my queens are mated. Yeah, I know they're mated because I went and I checked them for eggs, and then I put the reducer entrance over so the queen can't get out. So
that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, well, I don't know where this queen came from, but they were balling a rogue queen that came from somewhere, and I picked her out. I plucked her out. I put her in a cage. I put her in another mini mating nuke that I pulled the queen from. So I just kind of restarted it. I put her in there in the cage, and then I released her 2 days later. About 2 days after that, she was laying up that hive. So I don't know where she came from, but all the rest of my mini mating nukes had queens in them. So I went and checked each one, all the ones that were around it. They all had queens in them. So I just got a rogue queen came from somewhere.
Yeah, who knows? Like, that's the thing. Like, who knows? Some of your other hives, it's like, maybe it was they made their own little virgin queen, and then they kicked her out and she came back. Like, there's all kinds of weird things that happens in hives that we don't know about.
Yeah, and she definitely didn't look mated. She looked very young. It's like, when they get mated, they elongate a little bit. She had a very small abdomen, or was it abdomen? Yeah.
Yeah, I had a little bit of, for once, a little bit of queen good luck this past week. I have my queen starter hive, which is basically it started as like one of my best hives. Is I did a Demary on top, and then I put a double screen board in between. So I'm using them to draw out cells now, right? Anyways, they decided to make their own queen, which I wasn't aware of. That was 2 weeks ago. I went through it, found her, took her out, tried to put her in a queen clip. She went right through it, even though she was laying, right through it. Didn't care. Anyways, I did another round of grafting this week, and I basically do 75 at a time, and I do not need 75 at a time. Like, it's just it's an exercise in, practicing grafting for me pretty much, right? It's like I need 10. So anyways, I got 35 out of 75. Trying, I'm like, okay, well, that's okay. I can live with that. And then I start going through the hive, and there's eggs, larvae, caproot, there's a queen in there. She came back and she's just laying up a storm, but she didn't mess with my queenery. So I took all those out and put them in the incubator. So I got lucky with that. And then just now, right before the show, I was out kind of messing with my $1,000 queen, the one I use for grafting material. She's not $1,000, but she's my favorite queen. And I decided I was going to demarry her just to give her a little bit more space to lay out for the rest of the season. So I did that. And then I finished cleaning up afterwards. And it's like, I could demarry this. Like these bees are so nice. It's like, it's been raining all day. It's cloudy. And I swear to God, I could wear just a veil covering my face, and I could shake them out and no smoke, no nothing. And I'm like, they'll swarm around, but not a single sting. And I'm shaking frames into boxes. And it's like, yeah, they're fine. They don't care. Anyways, after all this drama, cleaning up the yard, go back, walk past in front of it. What's that in front? Oh, it's my freaking queen. It's like my $1,000 queen is in front of her hive right there. So I guess I shook her out, or she panicked and ran out or whatever. So I got to pick her up, put her back in the hive, and, back to it, because she might not have been able to make it in. I might have lost her. So yeah, I've been real lucky this week. I've had good luck.
I had something like that happen last year. It wasn't even I was shaking frames. It was just I pulled the frame out, and it's gotten me to where I hold my frames over top the box majority of the time now. But I just pulled one of the frames out, not paying attention or whatever, put it back in. I was just doing the quick check, just looking for eggs and larvae, and put it away. I went in the house, and then last year, this is my first year, so I was always out in the bee yard just looking at them. I would walk out every hour or so, just fascinated with them. And then I just see a bunch of bees in a line, just kind of following one up a center block, and I'm like, uh-oh, what is that? And then I get closer and I see the blue dot. I'm like, oh my God, what is she doing out there? And so then I had to cage her, and then I had to do the process of figuring out what hive she came out of. And that was fun. I had to find every queen, and I was like, okay, every queen in that area. Because all the hives aren't all next to each other, but I was like, okay, there's 6 hives here. I got to check each one of them and I have to find the queen in each one of them. Sure enough, I found it. So I put her back in there, and then it worked out ever since.
There goes the rest of your day.
Yeah, dude, I was like, what are the chances of me just walking out of the house and having to look in the location where her and her conga line of bees are just coming up a center block?
You're programmed for it.
Yeah.
It's like, I was selling some queens. Well, selling a queen to a guy, and I was just pulling it out of a hive, a big proper hive. And so, yeah, I'm gonna sell you this one. Pulling it out, and we just pull out the frame, and it's like just testing him. Hey, do you think you can spot it? And he's a new guy, and it's like he can't spot. Well, I've spotted it. Can you find it? And he's like, you can't find it. I'm like, I see it. Can you see it? It's like and I never mark my queens, but you end up you having a sense where they are. What I'm finding is that I'll pull up a frame and I'll stare at the frame too long. It's not on the frame, but I'll keep looking at the frame, but it's not on the frame. And I'll just keep looking just to make sure, but it's not there. But as you rip through it, it's like all of a sudden you just know where it is. Oh, there it is. It's like you pull out the frame and your eyes just drawn to the queen. Not every time, but say 8 out of 10 times.
I got something that kind of helps me. It's something I learned in the military. One of my drill sergeants taught me. They said, normally, how do you normally read us is left to right, and your eyes are normally going left to right. So that is normal for you. They said when you're scanning, when they're teaching you to scan the wood, scan for targets and all that, scan from right to left. That's not what your eyes are used to, and you'll detect detail a lot better. And that's when I'm looking at the frames. I go from right to left all the time, and I find it really fast.
You'll see that odd looking thing faster.
Yeah,
That's clever. That is
definitely
really
helps.
clever.
That was one thing from the military they taught me, and it's working for beekeeping, finding a queen at least.
Do you find it works as far as scanning right to left?
Oh yeah. I mean, I just either I have an eye for finding queens, or I mean, I do mark them, but some of the hives that don't have marked, I haven't marked all of them because some of them requeen themselves, and I just haven't gotten to marking them.
Well, I think something that I finally realized, I kept, I'm like, hey, I can see the queens now, and I'm like, why are my eyes picking up on them? And you'll notice that the part behind her thorax, where you paint, normally that's black and it's shiny. And where on your other bees, it's hairy, so it's not shiny. And of course, the abdomen's longer and it's pointier looking. And then another thing to check is the fact that worker bees, the wings are the same length as their abdomen, whereas the queen's wings are long, or their abdomen is longer and their wings are shorter. And a lot of times that tail's moving like that tail, which is odd compared to the other bees. They're swinging their tail back and forth a little bit. So as you seem, I think your brain gets trained that way. I think
it also
for me, I don't know. It seemed like that black shiny dot just comes out at me a lot of times, and then you get some of these carnies that are like a black and a brown striped thing. They blend in so much that it's like, where are you at?
I'm breeding for that. That's what I want all my carnies to be. All my queens to be that black with that little brown stripe.
Yeah, the black ones tend to blend into. If you're using black foundation, they will blend right into that foundation.
You can't see them for nothing.
And you can't see them.
That's where I like I feel like I want to go back to the Italians, where they're more of an orangey red, and they just pop out at you.
I have noticed with the queens, when you sit there and watch them, because sometimes I'll pull the frame out and just watch how the queen moves. When you watch them, the queens kind of move. It's not slow, but it is steady. And the workers that are around them are kind of sporadic, or they like to, I don't want to say jump, but they dart in a direction. And
yeah, she moves with purpose.
Yeah, you can kind of pick her out. You can see her moving slow, but it's not slow, but it's a steady pace, and she doesn't stop.
Right, and she has that little circle of attendants around her all the time, and I look for the moving circle, is what I look for, and then you'll see her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even put my finger on why it is I can find queens yet. Like, you guys have analyzed it a little bit more, but it's just, you just can't. It's like, you remember, like, Dave, these guys will remember, but you might be a little young. The magic eyes that was at the mall, you kind of like got to go cross-eyed a little bit, and then the pattern comes out of this weird ass thing. That's what I say. Yeah, it's like magic eyes. It's just like, you just kind of, and then you just, oh, there it is.
What is it? Magic eye.
You know what? Remember the magic eye in the mall?
No.
It looks like these weird, pretty static pictures. That's like nothing. And then if you stare at it long enough and you cross your eyes just right, all of a sudden there'll be like a three-dimensional image in it.
Okay. Yeah,
it's a thing in the 90s.
Must have been
92.
Must have been one of them Canadian things.
It was.
Had to be.
It was
only from the island. That's where it was probably at. That's why he's on the island.
Yeah, that's why they sent me here.
Somehow out there. Get them across their eyes.
But all these skills, it's like, spotting queens and grafting and all that. It's like, just, more time doing it. Your brain just, you don't even know how you do it. You just get better at it.
Amber remembers it.
Yeah, when I do mark queens, I mark them with a bright color.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily mark by the year. I mark them with a bright color that can be seen easily.
So when we get to red, what is it? Is that next year? Is red next year, or is that 2 years from now? Whatever that is, I'm using hot pink because I got that pack of marking pens, and like, and when I see some of the other beekeepers like on YouTube and all that, when they mark them with that red still blends in very well with like dark foundation or just a bunch of bees.
Yeah, I use the fluorescent colors.
I don't know. I was down there the last time I was down there at Hardiman's. He had a breeder queen down there, and I mean, it was a like fluorescent looking paint job on
Yeah,
this queen. And he said, yeah, he says, I had to mark her white and get that dry and then go over top of it with this. I don't know whether it was a fluorescent pink or just pink. And it really just shot out there at you, man. You could see her a mile away.
yep.
Yeah. The blue
Yeah.
I had last year stands out so well. It's because it's like a light blue.
Mm-hmm.
And the white is kind of hit or miss with mine because it's in past experience, white paint is very hard to nail down for like all different things, and that it rubs off so easy. The white,
That's what I found. I marked a queen here white, and they were licking it off quicker than you can shake. You know.
Yeah.
So what year was green? Was that the year before last?
Oh, I don't know.
Anyways, I can tell you this is the reason I don't mark my queens anymore. So I had a green paint pen, and I didn't stab it before I touched the queen, and I had her, and I touched her back, and it completely covered her in green paint.
That wouldn't be easy to find.
And then the next thing she did was basically she just turned up and died. But apparently I found out later on that sometimes when you do that, you shock the queen and she just pretends to die, but then she's fine.
All right.
Like, once I thought she was dead, I just figured she was dead and I got rid of her.
Next year will be yellow, and then the year after that is red, and then back to green.
Right.
red's the only
So
one.
ever since I did that, it's like I won't mark a queen.
Yeah, I bought a fluorescent green marking pen. It's bright. You can see it.
I couldn't believe, this fainting, like it was so dramatic. Like I was sold. So he just turns upside down, legs up, like, I'm dead.
So here's going to be the $1 million question. When do you pull supers?
What do I call a super?
When do you pull super?
Oh, when do I pull supers? I pull them. We pull them 4th of July weekend.
That's what I was debating because it seems like they're kind of slowing down right now.
Yep.
And I kind of want to start getting things ready or start prepping to get things ready for winter. And I just want to get everything equalized at this point.
Yeah, the only reason we pull at 4th of July is because spotted lanternfly honey.
Are you trying to target that, or you don't want it to get in?
We don't want it in our honey.
Right.
I don't know. David, you're down there around the watering area, aren't you? Like a lot of waterways close to the water. I'm sure there's a lot of privet or stuff that I don't have at all. Around here, I don't see anything coming in. Everybody's been talking about, the Dutch clover, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, there's so minuscule amount of stuff that comes off that. And I said, I don't see around me. There's no acres and acres and acres of that. There's nothing,
Yeah.
And like the what's it called? The sumac. It's over there across the road. It's got them big red pointy looking pods. So I think the blooms are all done on that. So as far as I'm concerned, I mean, tomorrow, I got maybe some help coming in. I'll help him. We'll start setting up clean the back porch up, get it set up to start extracting. And I mean, like I'm like Bill, around the 4th of July, I'm done. And I think we're pretty much done here in the last couple of weeks. It's
Yeah.
been much
Well,
done.
what I got blooming right now is mimosa trees. I didn't realize how many there's around. Mimosa trees are everywhere. And
Now around me, they're here. I've been going up and down. I mean, I happen to notice a little few more of them than lately, but I mean, there'd be one here, maybe one over there, about maybe one every couple miles. It isn't like a whole forest of them or anything like that. We had one in our yard here where I live at that my grandmother planted. And I don't know, that thing was a trash tree. We cut it down 40 years ago.
it's they're everywhere down the side of the roads where I'm at least.
Yeah.
And I did not realize how many there were. Like now that I know what they are, I just see them for like, it's not miles, but it's like I just see them. There's a lot of them down here. It's that, and I seen something. I took a picture of it today when I went to the dentist, and when I asked the Google to figure out what it was, it said it was a sourwood tree that was blooming right now.
Ooh.
And it's like it's outside of my bee's range, but I was like, that thing is blooming crazy, and I was like, what tree is that? And it looks like a sourwood tree from the picture that I took. I just snapped it from the side of the road on the road. And it's either that or a sweet chestnut.
Does it have like little, like long fingers?
The fingers come out and they curve a little bit. The catkins, that's what they were calling it on the what it was describing as catkins. They come down and curve out a little bit.
I don't know. There's a tree down the road here that, like you say, I don't know. I've never really seen the trees up in the mountain, what you're saying it was. And I'm like, I wonder if that's that type of a tree or whatever. But sourwood or whatever. But they, Benny and all of them talk about, well, they got to be at a certain elevation up in the mountains. So,
Yeah.
that's the case. I don't think they would be growing around here.
Yeah, it's with that, and yeah, it is white blooms. So I'm not sure. I mean, they came out two possibilities of a sweet chestnut, which I think is a Chinese chestnut. I think that was the real name of it.
Yep.
And it was either that or the sourwood. But when I looked at the picture of the sourwood blooms, the blooms look just like they got that long catkin that curves out, and the blooms kind of just hang down.
I bought one of them sourwood trees a few years ago. Tried to plant it in the yard. It did not take. But yeah, I would.
Yeah, it's got to be above a certain elevation for it to grow successfully.
Yeah, it was not happy here. But I don't have the best dirt on my property. Everything's a challenge.
I don't know. Let me
But then I bought it from
let me share a screen here.
tree nursery.
See whether this is
Bugs.
all right. Is that it?
That's what it looked like from the road. Yeah. Is that a sweet chestnut?
It's a Chinese chestnut.
Chinese chestnut? Yeah.
Is that it? It's kind of got like a fingers, I guess.
Yeah, okay, so that's probably what it is, a Chinese chestnut or a sweet chestnut. It, like I said, from the road, I just saw like the catkins, they like came out and they curved, which is what a sourwood tree does too.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if that's the case, if it's the Chinese chestnuts, I got a bunch of them around here too that I just noticed.
It happens. And all of a sudden you start noticing stuff. It's like I'm noticing all up and down my street. We got fireweed popping up out of nowhere. We never had any fireweed on our street before. And it's not like lots of it. It's just like one here and then 20 yards down, one here. And I'm just like, next year we're going to have so much fireweed. That's a big one for us. up here. It's really good. It's like a clear, almost a green honey. If you did it pure, well, you can't get it pure where I'm at, but if you actually had a cut block that was all fireweed, it would be almost a green honey, apparently.
Yeah. So, well, back to the supers question. I was thinking about like just going ahead and pulling them because when my dad did it, he said he didn't pull his until fall, and he was telling me don't bother them bees, just go pull it in the fall time right before winter. And I'm like, all right, that's not what I did last year. I mean, I didn't pull honey last year, but I fed the bees all the way up until you couldn't feed them no more. And I kind of want to get to doing that because I want them to draw some frames out. I got some frames that I want them to complete drawing out, and I don't think they're going to do it right now because it doesn't seem like there's anything coming in. So,
yeah, I've heard a lot of complaints where there different ones were saying that they're not drawing any honey. I think there's no flow and they're done. That's what
I'd say pull your supers about a week and a half before your visa bills due.
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking we're done. It seems like we got hit with a couple of things. Like it seems like everything bloomed early this year, like a month early this year. And then it got cold. We didn't necessarily get that freeze that Virginia got, but I think that's what hurt Virginia when they had that frost hit. And
so you guys don't get a midsummer bloom of trees or anything?
Not really. Because not over here. Because I think if we had basswood, those would be over in like the mountainous area too, right?
I think so.
And I'm more borderline coastal at this point.
So, Dodd, when do you pull your honey?
Yeah, and it's been really dry like the past month and a half. Like we've had some rain showers, but all the grass around my bees and all that and just stuff out in the yard just died off because it's just been so dry.
Hey, Lynn, good to see you.
Yeah, and us out here, it's apparently we're in a pretty serious drought, but it's not like years previously where it's like, basically it would stop, like it basically rained all winter till the spring, and then it stops raining, and then it never rains again until the fall. And it's done that many years in a row. But this year, it's like, we've been getting the rain keeps coming back every week and a bit. So
now there's something interesting that Clay talks about is that everybody talks about the elevation, but he had gotten 1,700 pounds of the bass, or is it not basswood, but sourwood. So he said, that's in his area. Of course, I won't say how, I don't know. I mean, I know where he lives. He does have some mountains around him, but I mean, I don't know where the elevation is at his area.
Maybe it's down south. Like it has to be cooler. Like where they're saying it has to be like the elevations. Isn't the elevation? It's cooler the higher up you go. So the trees would grow better up in elevation down south. Whereas up here, it's kind of naturally cool at a lower elevation.
That sounds interesting. Yeah, Dot. I mean, you sound like to me that when you're harvesting right around the 4th of July, that's pretty much where Bill is and I am, and I think Dave is probably in the same boat. Except the only thing is that you're closer to the water down there where you're at, and there might be some plants. Like for me, I'm not close to any major river or anything to get that type of plant base, that might be growing. If you're around the Susquehanna River along the edge of that, there's a lot of stuff that grows there that I don't see. I know that Will Toothaker, he talked about that. He's got some yards next to the Susquehanna.
When I pull, it's not really I can't put a date on it, but I can tell you it's when the blackberries are near done. That's when I'm going to pull, but I'll get more stuff after that. But yeah, that's the harvest I'm going to put in the bank.
Has your blackberries? Yours is the
Still
same
going
here, right? Blackberry brambles, like vines and stuff.
Yeah, we have at least two different types. We have the kind of these brambles but they're kind of like tripwire on the ground. It's like that's the one, and then there's the other ones that kind of arc up and over, which are the invasive species one, which are a little later, which are the ones that are going now. And
Isn't that the ones with the nice blackberries? You can make blackberry jam and all that good food.
Yeah, the nice big ones. The ones that are residential, they're tiny, tiny little useless things. But yeah, those exactly the blackberry jam ones and all that. Yeah, that's what's ripping right now. It's still going good. Probably get another 2 weeks, especially now that we got a little bit of rain the last 2 days. So yeah, and it wasn't enough to knock the blooms off. So it's like, yeah, all right. This might not.
Yeah, you talking about the invasive. I mean, it sounds like up here we used to have. It's not as bad anymore. We used to have what was the stuff for multiflora rose with the English people that came over here in my county. There was a lot of English that came over and brought that stuff. It was the living fence, and they were all foxhounds and all that stuff. And I think over the last 30 years or more, we've hit it with enough Roundup and burned that stuff down, and front end loaders and bulldozers. We got rid of it, the majority.
Bring the blackberry.
Let's see, Hala. I'm sure I got some poplar. The rain ruined it. Yeah, I'll have to say it rained about the same time here. You're not that far away from me. And then the locust trees, it was 60 degrees for 2 weeks while they were blooming, and the bees really didn't get out and do a whole lot. And all. Yeah, the blackberries, I don't know. Around here, they're always trying to pick them for jams and jellies and pies and stuff. I mean, or at least my mother used to do that when I was a kid. Go to the blackberry patches and all that.
Makes for a lot of honey.
Well, I wasn't in the bee business back in them days.
Yeah. So I have this one yard that I have, and basically I just I was out there today, messing with it, and it's like I took my 6 least favorite hives and put them, like, these are the mean bees and the shitty bees that aren't doing anything. And I put them out there. And then when I was doing nukes, I basically stole all their brood from them. So not only, are they in a new area, now I stole everything they had. And then I come back 2 weeks later. And I left them on basically like just a little bit of drawn, I had a couple of drawn frames in each one, like maybe 2. I go back there, the whole thing, it's basically 2 double deeps drawn out completely and starting to fill a super already 2 weeks later. It's absolutely nuts what they're doing. And they're just chock-a-block full of bees. I can't believe, how fast, but where they are, they're in a vineyard, and all the areas around the vineyard and all that, it's all blackberries and all that. So it's been a really good flow for that particular yard. I have another yard that's on a golf course, and they've done a Herculean effort to knock back the blackberries, and I'm incredibly disappointed. But yeah, they've drawn so much wax. I actually went, they were basically double deeps, And then today I went out there and I demarried them. So now they're double deeps. Most of them are 2 deeps for as honey supers, and then double deeps up top as well. And everything I'm putting in there is like undrawn. So let's see what they can do. It's almost a challenge.
So, Dave, you think you get much honey this year then, since you did more expansion?
I'm actually thinking I'm going to get more honey off the first set of nukes that I got this year than I did the actual ones that I was going to do production hives or be production hives. I put a bunch of those my first round of nukes. I put them in a single deep, and then I put a queen excluder of them, and then I put another deep on top of them. And I'm gonna yank those. I think I got 4 of those, and they were full last time I checked. I haven't been in the bees that regular. I've just been feeding the nukes that I got now, so I haven't been really messing with the bees that much. But I think I'm gonna get at least 4 deeps off of those. I think I'm probably gonna get like 6 or 7 deeps in total, and then probably 4 or 5 mediums. And I think that's gonna be about it from what I get.
Right. I don't know. I got some hives out there that it really didn't produce much of anything. Of course, they were growing hives. There was like 3 or 4 of them out there that I had to restart them and get them going and all that stuff. And then I did put a super on them just in case they were going to store something above and all that stuff. But we'll see what happens. If I get 500 pounds, I don't think I might get 500. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I was shooting for 400 pounds this year because I said I had eight production hives because I took one of them and did the queen ring with. So I was shooting for like average 50 pounds a hive, and I don't think I might get 400 pounds if math is correct. What is it? A deep is what, like 60 to 70 pounds.
Yeah, but I don't know whether that includes the box or frames or what.
Well, I was thinking a honey that came out. I think it was like 90 pounds if it's a full box with the box weight and everything. Somewhere around there. And then what a medium's like, what, 30 pounds of honey, I think.
Yeah, I guess that's if it's full.
We shall see. I'm going to be doing a video on that. It'll be my first honey harvest this year. So that'll be fun. Now I got to learn how to do all that stuff. Make sure I have enough buckets on hand in case I end up having more honey than I thought.
Yeah, that's one thing. My sister has a snowball business, and she gets marshmallow in buckets that are food grade, and she gets pallets of them, so I get plenty of buckets. She brought me down, I think, 5. I told her I needed some more buckets just in case. So all that.
Something I need to do. I got to go bucket shopping too. I don't have anywhere near enough buckets to deal with the amount of honey I'm going to have this year.
Well, a lot of people get free buckets from different places, like they'll say pickle buckets and stuff. But I've heard that smells, and with my stuff, there's no smell to it because it's got this marshmallow mix in it, and you wash them and they're clean and they're perfect.
Yeah, it takes a long time to clean a pickle bucket.
I don't know. I never have.
Well,
Hey, Chris.
I can tell you this. I got a pickle jar sitting up on my shelf that I washed twice. It still smells like pickles.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to get. It's out of glass, and it's hard to get it out of glass.
All right. JR or RJ says there's Walmart buckets from the bakery. That'd be a good idea. If you pay for $1, that's cheap.
But then you got to be real careful, though, what buckets you get. Because if you get the 70 mil and not the 90 mil, and if you stack them, then like either the lid will collapse or they'll just split on you, and then you just lost 60 pounds of honey onto the floor.
That'd be the worst. Oh my god, I can only imagine if one of them cracked and just leaked all over my floor in the kitchen.
Yeah, that'd be like
I just
Bruce.
open the door and just tell the bees to come in.
That'd be like Bruce.
And then it'd be even worse because then the bees would come in, they get stuck, and they'd all die. So now you got this honey-filled massacre of bees.
Well, if you got a lot of honey there, Norman, you don't have to get yourself a honey drum.
Yeah.
Bill will sell you one, ship it to you, right, Bill?
What?
Honey drum.
Oh yeah, I got drums. I got drums, that's for sure.
I'm still at the bucket stage.
Gets new Lowe's buckets. Yikes.
No, do not. And a Home Depot bucket, do not ever touch a Home Depot bucket, because you look at those things wrong and they degrade.
Well, the main thing of it is you got to have food grade plastic, and you got to have 90 mil.
90 mil. Yeah.
And if you don't do that, forget it.
So Lowe's, if you catch them at the right time of the year, Lowe's does sell 90 mil buckets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you catch them at the right time of year.
We don't have a Lowe's. We have a Rona. It's kind of like real Lowe's.
I didn't know Lowe's had food grade buckets. Well, I guess like you said, you just got to catch them at the right time. But I'm thinking
Ace Hardware sells them. I know because DC just said so, but the Ace Hardware that I sell bee equipment in sells 90 mil buckets as well. They just don't have the lids for them.
That's going to be my backup. Like, cause I got an Ace right down the street, like 5 minutes away, and if I end up running out of buckets, then that's going to be where I'm gonna have to go.
Well, if you don't stack them, you don't need a strong lid.
Noted. I don't think I'll have enough to stack. So, yeah, Ace will charge you an arm and a leg.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, Amazon is not the place to buy a bucket. That's for damn sure.
That's where I got my set of buckets. I got 8 buckets.
Oh hell no! $59, $47.
And they don't come from Amazon. They come from whoever's selling them on Amazon.
Yeah.
So that you're paying a lot more, or I think they're paying a lot more because of shipping. They're tacking the shipping costs in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get ours through Uline. You guys have a Uline in the States.
I'm thinking there's another. Was it e-packaging or whatever?
Let's
see. That's the one I got my. That's where I got all my 12-ounce jar, my 1 pound honey jars from. E-packaging.
E-package. You can get food grade buckets there. Let me see if they're 90 mil. Yeah, they're 90 mil BPA free food grade buckets. $5.61. They're orange.
I may be looking into them. That's where, like I said, that's where I got my 1 pound jar, like the squeeze jars, or the plastic squeeze ones, and they came super fast. I ordered them; they were there in like 4 days. They were at my house in like 4 days. They were super fast with the shipping.
Now, E-Package also sells a 5-gallon white bucket with a lid, 90 mil, all-purpose pail. It says $60. I don't know if that's for one or 6 of them.
For 60?
Yeah. But it doesn't say how many buckets it is.
Normally it would say.
I got $4.47 a unit.
Yeah.
For 5 gallon, 90 mil BP
where is that from?
White.
Where is it from?
packagesupply.com. That's I'm following your guys' lead here. And you can get
Yeah, they
one with
also
your
have
design on it for
different
$4.20 or $4.62. You can get your design on it.
Yeah, see, mine is where I'm using. It's the same website, ePackage 561 for 100 from 1 to 119 buckets.
Yeah, I'm looking here at my e-package. It says 5-gallon buckets, 90 mil BPA food grade for $5.61, but that's just a bucket.
Yeah, that's just a bucket. That's not the
Oh
lid.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, you guys are right. No, I clicked on I was looking at. They didn't get into specifics per the per bucket bulk price. I guess they were giving me the $6,000
Yeah.
price or 6,000
Yeah.
unit price.
So you got to buy the lid separate.
Well, that's all right.
And the
I
lid,
got like 100 pickle lids in my yard. I'll just clean all the chicken shit off it.
the lids are $1.76 a piece.
Or you could spend $8 and get the super lids,
Yeah,
the screw-on lid.
$8.22 and get the super lid.
You get screwed for $8.
Screw on.
Get your screw on.
Or you can spend $2.09 and get the pour spout bucket lid.
Yeah, so I got those because of for my buckets, I got those ones with the pour spouts, so I could put the I got one of the honey packing machines, and it's got the tube that comes off the back of it. So I got the spout, so I could put the tube down into the spout.
Yep.
Speaking of which, and I don't know if it applies to honey, but it's a paint thing that you guys just made me think of, and I've been using this for glue for I use paint to glue my. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Those plastic lids with pour spouts for paint canisters that you can take on and off. Money. I think you pay like $5 for them or less. They're the greatest things in the world. If you ever got to paint, buy the spigot. It's basically this plastic thing you put on top, and it's got a little twisty cap, and you pour it out of a paint bucket.
Yeah.
And if they could have those for a 5-gallon bucket, that would be cool. But
They do. What you're talking about, it's like you pull it up, and then it's got a little screw cap on it.
yeah, exactly.
The hole, it's like this big. Well, it's like a $half size hole, pretty much. Essentially. Yeah, that's what I got for my bucket. Actually, one sec, be right back.
Look at that shop. He's so organized. Look at those drawers.
Yeah, really.
Does he even know what's in those drawers? Do you even know what's in those drawers?
Me? Do I know
Yeah.
what's in these drawers? Yeah.
We're talking about your drawers.
Yeah.
There's drawers, but yeah.
You're talking about these lids, right?
Yeah.
Not exactly, but sure. Yeah.
These pull up, and they got the little
Yeah, that
screw
kind of
lid.
thing. Well, there's paint lids that pop up even further. It'll pop up like 5 inches, kind of thing, but not on a 5-gallon bucket. It's for paint cans.
Oh, for the actual 1-gallon cans?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But if they had something that was similar for this, it'd be cool. Because then you could you can articulate your bucket to get it to stop pouring and stop dripping. Whereas with that, you can't.
Yeah.
It's called a bottling tank, Norman, with a 1-drip valve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds expensive.
Or an automatic bottling machine that fills it to the weight and cuts off and then sucks that one little drip back.
Yeah, I always ask God for that. When I'm,
You're a
at the urinal.
beekeeper. You're
Come
going to
on,
make all kinds of
better.
money, Norman. You can buy all that
That's
stuff.
funny. Hey, Bill, do you want to sponsor me?
No.
I got all that stuff, and the bees paid for it. I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just got to sell enough honey. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These aren't paying for themselves just yet, but they're getting there. They're coming along.
I mean, how many pounds of honey do you sell a year? Do you know?
Well, it's not really a. I can't answer that yet.
Have you? Are you just
I'm
getting
having
built? Are
having
you
a
just
huge
getting
growth
built
rate.
up to that point?
Yeah, exactly.
I have a
Well,
bunch
you
of
know,
people that are asking me when am I going to be selling honey, and it's coming up.
Yeah, that's
you
what
know,
I'm
when I
saying.
first started out 16 years ago or more, I'm like, who in the heck's going to buy honey?
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, let's see, I sold a pound a day, and I mean, I'm selling 100 pounds a month.
My favorite are my stores that I sell to, and I don't give them wholesale. They pay 15, like, I basically, I'm like, $15 a pound plus the bottle, plus the stickers for the price. So it's like, that just,
Why don't you just
figure it
say
out.
it's X amount of dollars and that includes all that? I don't understand why you Canadians do that.
I don't either.
Well, it's because I got 6 sizes. So instead of telling you what my 6 sizes are and you can figure it out, it's like, this is the easier way.
There's
It's
a
like, it's
packaging
$15 a pound. And then you're also paying for the bottle and you're paying for the sticker. So you can do the math on that. And like, yeah, if you were actually buying it, I would tell you what it was. So it's like, like 500 mils is like $50. Or no, sorry. 500 mils is like $27. A liter is $50. At 375 is like $20 or something like. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, when you say a liter, that's what a liter's not quite a gallon. It's what 3 liters to a gallon or 4 liters to a gallon.
3.5 liters per gallon.
It's a little bit more than a quart.
Okay, yeah. So are you selling liter bottles?
Yeah, liter bottles.
I mean, how many size products are you selling?
6.
6 of them.
Yeah.
Man, that's too much. That's too much choice.
Yeah.
People want what they want.
Make them want what you want to sell.
I used to sell 4 sizes. I had a bear, which was 8 ounces, which is a half a pound. I had half a pound, 2 pound, 3 pound.
Yikes.
And then my clientele got to the point where once they figured out I had really nice stuff, the heck with the bear, they're looking for 1s, 2s, and 3s.
Well,
a couple years ago, I got rid of the bears. I'm done with them things.
Yeah, most of the honey I sell, I don't sell myself. I have stores that sell it for me. And back to my point, is like I'll sell it to you for the same price as I'll sell it to the store. And my stores are always like, yeah, like when I first started, you give us wholesale. I'm like, no, you pay what everybody pays. And then they mark it up even more than that. And it goes. And the thing about stores is they love having all the SKUs and all the different sizes. So they won't buy all 6, but they'll buy 4. They'll buy 4 different sizes, and they don't want to have. They're not going to buy like a crate. They're going to buy like 6 of each, kind of thing. And if I only had 2, they'd buy 6 of 2 types. If I got 4, they'll buy 6 of 4 types. So it's a little different. But yeah, my stores are all knocking down my door right now. So
you're selling it. You got sales.
Oh yeah. No, I have no honey. I have nothing right now. Other than like I got 1 5-gallon bucket that has a little bit in the bottom that's on my kitchen table that like we're like turning sideways and like basically twisting it out just to try and get a little bit more for the morning oatmeal. That's all we have left. But yeah, that's where I screwed up this year was that, well, I didn't screw up, but like I started to panic in the early spring thinking like, the honey's going to be coming soon. Cause you guys in the States, you guys all start pulling honey really early. So I haven't, like I could have pulled I've pulled winter honey, like the overwintered honey and bottled that and sold it. But as far as this year's honey, it's like, I just pulled my first little bit of this year's honey like today. And I didn't pull much. Like I was just a couple of full frames.
Yeah, no, like Be a Honeybees, Tom and Melissa, they have all kinds of options there they were listing. And Mike, Minnesota Mike, you were asking about the hay crop. Yeah, we've got first cutting done in the barn. Waiting on rain to keep the second cutting growing.
When I went to the dentist today, the ladies there, they know that I have bees, and all of them were asking for honey. And I was like, well,
and you make sure that you always carry so many amounts of honey in your car at all times.
I thought about that. I was like, do I always need to have it on hand at that point? But and then one of them was talking about hot honey, and that was the third person that I've heard talk about hot honey. And I'm like, I could try that, but then I really can't, because like what is it in Maryland? They got the cottage law. If you start adding stuff to honey, then you got to actually have like a
commercial kitchen.
A commercial
kitchen.
And I was like, oh man, well there goes that. So I may have to look into something. Maybe if they start paying for themselves well enough, build an addition off.
The main thing of it is I always have 2 to 3 1-pounders and 2 to 3 2-pounders in my car at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep honey in your pockets.
Little 2 ounce, 4 ounce.
When I can go out on a Sunday afternoon to the VFW or whatever and go dancing and then wind up selling $50 worth of honey.
Oh, so that's why you go. You don't go there for the dancing. You go there to pedal.
Well, I go for the dancing, but I mean, I might have a couple guys there. Hey, I need to.
He goes for the skirts, but he stays for the profits.
But they'll buy a couple pounds each, or something like that. It's $24.
You show up like, what's Charlie doing over there? He's over there opening his trench coat. I got 2s, 3s, 1s, 12s. What you want?
Whatever you want, buddy. I'm here. I'll take your money. No problem. Always have honey with the car.
He gets out on the dance floor, starts dropping bottles of honey on the floor.
Huh?
Get out on the dance floor, start dropping bottles of honey.
Yeah,
all those buckets.
Yeah, he runs out of the place here. Clink, 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 clink.
No, everything's plastic at my house.
It bounces across the floor.
Yeah, Amber, there's a few skirts there. But anyway, I mean, like I say, always have honey around.
I was wondering what the price of that, because I was looking around the people that sell it around me. Some sell it at $14 a pound. Some people, and it's kind of like the average seems to be like $16 a pound.
Well, most areas around here is $15. Yeah.
I was seeing some sell it at $20 a pound, and you see sold out signs on their websites and all that kind of stuff. I was like,
well,
that's a little high for wildflower honey, in my opinion, but
I don't think so. Wildflower is the most special of all.
$15 a pound is pretty much the going rate around here.
Yeah.
You can't, there's not a lot of wildflower honey on the market because most of the honey is, parked next to somebody's farm somewhere. So it's canola.
Amber does that in Oklahoma, it's $16.
There's something or something.
Cowboys have a lot of money out there.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of hives going on. I would recommend that you pretty much match the most expensive price you have around you and just make your honey last as long as possible. Unless you're making a ridiculous amount of honey. And then it's
I was trying to think of I was trying to be the average. I wasn't going to be the asshole that undersold everybody, but I wasn't going to be the dickhead that overcharged their customers for it.
Yeah, be the dickhead.
I think I'll ride the middle of the road. I'll probably go with like 16. And if I start selling out and it's just blowing off the shelves, then I'll probably raise it up a little bit. But
Well, unless you're making like my point is like you're not making a ton of honey yet, so you might as well
Doesn't
get
matter.
$1.
They talk about, they'll come to me and they'll say, hey, give me a deal. I said, I don't give, there's no deal. I don't have, I don't have a problem selling a drop, every drop of honey that I can possibly make. Not a drop.
Yeah. That's what most.
And then if like for me, I don't go out, I don't wholesale it. I don't go to shops. I don't go to fairs. I do have the mill here. We have an office. So, and I'm on a busy road. And they know to come here. You might say I have a storefront, you might say. And I built up enough clientele where I got regular customers coming in, repeat customers, and and I got 4 what are they, 2-gallon mason jars. I got 4 2-gallon mason jars filled here, waiting for the lady to come and pick them up. And then then they'll come in and they'll buy 3-pounders, and now it seems like 3-pounders are starting to take off. And 1s and 2s are always the best sellers. But I might sell a little bit cheaper than 15 because they're coming to me. I'm not going to them. Works all right.
I just want some of the proceeds so I can start buying sugar. Like sugar is going to get expensive this year now that it jumped up to 28 hives. Last year it was like $20, took care of all the hives. Now it's going to be like $100. Have to take care of all the hives every week.
Yeah, mine's usually about $500 or $600. My sugar bill's about $500 or $600
a month.
No.
Oh, a week
for a pallet, a half a pallet, or whatever I'm going to get. You have to look up the restaurant store if you're looking for.
I'm right in between the both of you, and it's like, I got a buddy who goes down to a Costco in the city, and it's like, I hear he's going, it's like, go pick me up 10 bags of 20 kilograms of sugar or whatever, and that's $300.
Yeah, I go to BJ's, which is our big box store, and it's for 25 pounds, it's $20. So it ends up being like $80 when I walk out of there. I get 4 bags, and that'll take care of most. That right now I'm only feeding the nukes, but once I start feeding all the main hives, which have the gallon and 2-gallon feeders in them, that'll start eating up real quick.
Yeah, but you're better off. It's cheaper to feed them sugar than it is to feed them honey.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. Like, you could sell like 2 pounds of honey, and you would pay for 1.5 bags of sugar at that point, which they could feed them for a week, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. I can't believe you in this, like, $16 per pound in the States right now. That's fantastic. I'm gonna have to start selling my stuff south of the border.
Here, I was thinking it was a little expensive. I was like, $16. Who's going to pay that? And I started looking around. I was like, that's actually kind of normal. So,
well, I always basically I find the most expensive honey local to me, and I match it and maybe go a little higher. And maybe I'm too cheap because I'm out of honey right now.
what's a Royal King? I don't know what that is.
I don't know. That's a name of a store that you would buy. I don't have a Royal King around here.
I don't know what that is.
I have the restaurant store, and I don't know. Let's see.
Royal King, is that like a farmer's
Yeah.
tractor supply?
Yeah, it's like a tractor supply.
No, we got tractor supplies. I mean, it's kind of the same thing.
What's your zip code?
For me, 20624.
What's that?
20624.
2064.
24.
I'm not giving me what I'm looking for.
No, I don't think we have one of those. A Royal King. There's one in Front Royal, Virginia. That's a little far away. That's about 2.5 hours. Oh no, we got one in Cumberland, Maryland. $240 away. Nice.
Well, all this sugar and all these things should start dropping in prices and shipping coming up soon because the price of oil's gone way down. So fuel should go down soon.
I have my opinions on that whole debacle. That was all just staged. I'm not trying to get political, but the big oil companies were overcharging oil because they could, not because they were shorted.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they're just as bad as anybody.
They use the bull crap over in the Middle East to justify raising their prices when they didn't have no problems getting oil in, especially when we had a new pipeline coming from Venezuela. Convenient.
I could rant about being a Western Canadian that all our oil and fuel basically roundabout way comes from Alberta. It's like why are our prices up?
How close
Anyway.
are you to District Heights, Maryland?
That's right by DC, isn't it? District Heights by Cap Heights. That's Capitol Heights.
That's Capitol Heights. This is Ritchie Road.
Ritchie Road. Yeah.
Oh, you're in Maryland. Oh,
Yeah.
I bought an RX-7 from Maryland once a long time ago.
I mean, Ritchie Road's like 40 minutes for me, 30, 40 minutes away from me.
All right. Well, that's the closest the restaurant store. But the thing is, you have to get a membership. I have a friend of mine who orders it for me, and I just buy it.
Is it the Websterant store?
The restaurant store.
The restaurant store.
THE restaurant store. Green looking website.
Yeah, I thought it was the Websterant. I wonder if it's the same people. If you type in Websterant, it's just like I'm guessing it's online restaurant supplies.
I don't know. These places here, you go to it, and what I liked about it, I might pay more per pound a little bit. Like everybody, I'll go to Walmart. I said, well, Walmart doesn't, you can't go in there and get 30 or 40, what is it? 25-pound bags.
Yeah.
Here you go there, you pre-order, you get there, it's on a pallet. He's, what do you got to load with? I got a truck. Put it on a pallet. Okay. Pick it up, take the electric forklift out there, put it in the back of your truck, and you're done. No mess.
I think that's what Duck River did. I mean, what he does, he actually goes to I think whatever his big box store is. Like last video I saw, he said he did, and I think he got a pallet from somebody.
I went to Walmart and I asked him. I said, "Look, we would have to ask this guy in the grocery department, and this, and then and that." And it was like, "Come on, aren't you the manager? Let's get with it here." They don't know. They haven't got a clue. That's where you just quit all that stuff. And then I have the Pro Suite I got from Bill there. That's where I feed. See, that's when it comes to feeding, like out in the yard, like, all right, as soon as I pull these supers off, I want to treat them and I want to feed them. Well, they're going to get quart jars of Pro Suite because with that, they can't smell it and they don't rob. They get about a gallon each, I think I'll give them.
Yep.
And that'll get them through September. Then after Labor Day, that's when I'll put the top high feeders on, and that's when I'll throw the sugar water to everybody. But some of them will go out there and these, like you say, if you got 4 hives, sure, you can go out there and buy them stupid little 4-pound bags, and when I make up a batch, it's 250 pounds of sugar.
Yeah.
At a clip. For every 20 gallons is 250 pounds, and that gives me close to 2 to 1.
And you're paying what? About $1 a pound?
I guess. I mean, 60 cents for the bag of sugar.
Yeah, so I get a 25-pound bag for $20 plus tax or whatever, so that's a little bit less than $1 a pound for me. And then I use one 25-pound bag in a 5-gallon bucket, and I mix it up.
That's $200 a mix, Charlie, at 80 cents a pound.
It's the price of doing business.
Oh, come on. Where's it at? Golden Barrel.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at here. The Golden Barrel extra fine sugar.
Yeah. How much?
It's $42.99 per bag, but if you get 10 to 50,
How much?
for a 50-pound bag? $42.99
$29.49
for a 50-pound bag.
for a 50-pound bag.
Where are you getting that at?
I told you.
More like it because our 20-kilogram bags are like $30. So yeah, you guys should.
If you buy 10 to 49 bags, which that's where I'll be at $28.91.
What are we looking at? Is Golden Barrel, or I got extra fine granulated? Is that what? That's not.
So
Golden Barrel extra fine granulated pure sugar, 50 pounds.
if you buy syrup instead of making the sugar, Charlie and Dave, it only costs you to make up that 250 pound mix. It costs you $179.97.
But then you got to move the water around. You got to pay for the water to move.
That syrup will last you a lot longer than the sugar will.
But then that's corn sugar.
$29 a bag.
No, it's not corn sugar. It's 50-50. It's a 50-50 mix with inverted sugar.
Right. So it's half corn sugar.
The T55 is what puts the solids in the mix.
You know what I'm thinking? I think there might be enough beekeepers if we all went together, and whether we do it through money or through arms, we could like take over a sugar plantation somewhere and just solve this problem for all of us.
Do you know how sugar's made, Norman?
Work.
You just don't buy you don't harvest granulated sugar.
You got to cook it and everything else. It's made down here at Domino at Baltimore.
Yeah.
And a byproduct's called molasses.
Yeah.
I'm still wondering where you see in this $23 for a 50-pound bag.
$29.49.
$29.49. Where is that?
Yeah, you should find mid to high 20s for 20
bag.
50 pounds.
I found it now. I forgot I was on the Websterant store.
Yeah, that's not it. So if you let's see, I need 250, so that's 5 bags.
And you got to have a membership to this place?
Yeah, it's $145 for the sugar alone. How much you say, Bill, was the other stuff?
To make up to do a 250 pound mix, it's $179.
Well, how many gallons? 40 gallons.
This just turned into a math problem. The fuck?
So 40 gallons. 12.
Yeah, DC. I've seen a lot of people say that they take all the honey away from their bees because the honey is too dirty for them to winter with, and they feed them sugar syrup to get them through the winter because that's cleaner for them. I mean, there's probably stages of dirty and clean, but
you're talking about the ash.
It's 864 a gallon by the time you buy the syrup.
Well, the
So
simple fact is the bees will work just fine on sugar syrup.
Yeah, per gallon.
So you might as well take all your honey and sell it and turn,
Yeah, but you have healthy bees during the winter.
But if you take all the sugar or take all their honey away and you just feed
Yeah,
them
take their honey and then
No,
make
you
sure they
feed
have
them.
enough time to pack
You
all the
feed
sugar.
syrup.
feed them syrup for the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like make sure you start feeding them syrup in enough time so that they can, they can build up their stores. And once they got enough, you're
yeah,
golden.
well, you do that. I mean, for me, around here, you start around after Labor Day, about the middle of September, let's say, and you go to about the middle of October, and they're done.
Yeah.
They got it all stored away, capped, whatever.
Yeah, we put our wet supers back on, and they pack the syrup for the winter.
You leave the wet supers on?
Yeah, we take supers off, we extract them, we put one wet super back on per hive.
So you're running what, 2 deeps and then one wet super?
Yep.
And then they just whatever you feed them, they put into that top.
And they pack it.
Right.
With all those bubbles.
That's extra insurance on them for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they pack it complete from side to side, top to bottom.
Do you leave the queen excluder on for that so the queen doesn't get up there? No.
Nope. She travels the entire hive in the winter.
No, I mean not for the winter, but like while they're packing it, and then you just pull queen excluders before the winter time.
Yeah.
Oh, you want her to go up.
We pull queen excluders when we pull honey.
Yeah, you want them to they'll pack the honey and push the queen down so it gets more efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I like my hives, I use 3 mediums, or you guys would use maybe 2 double deeps, and you put your feeder on top, and they'll take care of put the nest in the bottom. Well, you might try to have the nest in the bottom and then have a little bit more open space in the top, and then feed them, and they'll put it in there the way they want it.
I was kind of debating what to do with all my empty supers. Or I figured they'd be more safer if they were left on top of a hive, as opposed to sitting out.
Nope. Because then you're going to have it's going to be a cold spot for your bees. It's going to suck all the heat out of them, and it's going to kill them.
Yeah, you only want to put one.
You got to take them off.
You only want to put one on there to get them through the winter.
Right. Yeah. I wouldn't have enough to put 2 on a hive, but
how many you got? I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is you got a certain amount of hives and you only have a small amount of supers because you haven't really worked on the honey that much.
So I used a lot of deeps as supers this year because I put the queen excluder under a deep, and it just seemed like the flow wasn't strong enough for them to work. I started putting just like 1 super on all my production hives, but then it just came to the point where like a couple of them went too deep with the medium supers, and they drew those out, but others struggled to even draw 1.
1 deep out that was foundation.
No, 1 medium that was foundation. So it seemed like they were mainly working on expanding the 2 deeps that I got, and I didn't put no queen excluder on them. Like if it's not drawn foundation, or if it's just foundation, I didn't put the queen excluder on them. But once they started drawing it out, that's when I put the queen excluder up there. And I think I may have probably like 6 or 7 drawn mediums, and I got about 10 sitting in the shed.
So with your honey production hive, you had 2 deeps on there, and they were drawing it out, y'all say? Drawing a comb out for you?
So for my double deeps, I only had 2 I had 3 that started drawing out 2 mediums.
All right, so your stack was deep, queen excluder, medium.
Yep.
You got too much space on there. If you want put a deep in, you shove all them bees down in that deep queen excluder and put a couple mediums on top.
See, now that you say that, I'm thinking about it. That maybe that makes sense on why my nukes, my first round of nukes, made so much honey. I had them on one deep, then I put a queen excluder, and they filled that next deep up completely.
What?
And they worked on top of a. There was a medium on top of that they were up into.
Well, it was years ago. We had a commercial guy come to one of these other club meetings I went to, and they said, "Well, we don't give them all that space." Of course, he didn't go into detail. He said, "We just use one deep," and just like Ian and all the rest of them, they put the brood box in the bottom, the queen excluder, and then all your honey supers above, and that's where the Demery method comes in. It's the same principle. And when it comes to swarming, either you're going in there in the springtime and you're pulling out, let's say 5 frames to make a split and making another, because your expansion or whatever you're going to do. And that way, and then you put comb back in there and then you give that queen another 5 frames to lay, and it'll reduce the swarming because she's got a place to lay. And that's where the Demery thing comes in. Is like I tell people, that's what I learned when I was doing it. I'm like, by observation, is that if you keep a space for her to lay, she will never swarm. And I swing those 95% cap brood frames out of that box, put open comb back in. And of course, I got my hive lifter, and I put my honey supers back on and put that brood upstairs. Now, you can either use it as resources and other hives or like a cell builder or something like that, or you leave it up there and you check it in 5 to 6 days, cut out all the damn queen cells and let it hatch out. Let 90% of it hatch by the time you get back in a couple of weeks. And you've expanded your bee population and your workforce, and now you're making more honey.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more work to do it that way.
Yeah, I'm thinking, like I did the single deep because I kind of got multiple things that I'm trying to experiment with, but I did the single deep. I did the single deep with the queen excluder, and then those turned out really good. But my thought process behind it was, I'm going to let them run in the single deep. I'm going to take the top deep off for honey, and then I'm going to extract it. But then I'm going to give them the box back and then pull the queen excluder and let them have the double deep as a whole net so they can remake their net.
That's your winter configuration, right? Your double deep will be your winter configuration, just like me. There's 3 mediums, which equals 2 deeps, basically.
Right.
I take off the top medium, so I leave them with 2 mediums, which is considered, I'll say, a single deep. And I give them that 3rd medium back here in the next couple of weeks. They'll all have 3 mediums instead of just 2 mediums.
Right.
I got 1 hive, number 2 hive out there. I've been building that hive, been letting them build up from a baby hive all summer long. It takes them a season, it seems like. And the last time I was out there, about 2 weeks ago, I checked and they were in 2 mediums, and I pulled the top off. Well, here's honeycomb up on top, they're wax comb, and they're packed out with bees and whatever. And I'm like, hey, y'all need a box. You need to be put into a winter configuration. So I got a medium box that had brood comb in it, and scraped got my little smoker out, my BTEC smoker, pushed them down, scraped all that brood comb or burr comb off, put that box back on there, and I checked them here recently, and they're all up in there, filling it out with either honey or eggs and stuff like that. And that's my, you have your winter configuration, which would be like your 2 double deeps. And then you have your honey or summer configuration, which is the deep queen excluder and whatever amount of honey supers you can get on there that they can fill, and put that other deep up on top. and that's where I cycle the damn
Right.
frames around all the time. There's no swarming, and it works, you know. Now, Bill, now you do just what, single brood with your hives, and then you put the honey supers on top,
Some of them, yeah.
or do you use double deeps and put honey supers on top?
Some of them I run double deeps, and some of them I run single deeps.
And how do you keep them from swarming? You have to go and look at them ever so often.
Yeah, the double deeps I work them every other. We work them every other week. The single deeps we rotate brood in and out every other week.
So basically every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much what I'm doing. Yep.
So you say you're rotating brood. You're not doing the demery. You're just taking what, cat brood or something out and then putting them just
Taking cat brood out, putting an empty frame in.
And what do you do with your cat brood, Bill?
We use it to build up other hives.
equalize a little bit.
Yeah, you're equalizing, or you're trying to pull some resources out of that hive.
Yeah, we're pulling resources out, going to a weaker hive and building the weaker hives up, keeping them all going.
That's what I love about the demery that I've been doing recently. It's like it never ends up being a demery because it's like, you know, one day I intend, like, you know, the hive is too much, so I break it down and bring all the brood up, and I can do that, and then like that's one day, and then the next day I come through and it's like, you know, I'm doing something else with other hives. It's like, oh, this one's weak. I need some for that. Well, hey, I got that big, strong hive over there that I shook all the bees down, and I know I could just reach in and grab a frame of brood and, like, you know, the brood, the bees, there's not a queen on it. It's pretty much guaranteed. Yank it, put it in. So I've been robbing my demeries all year.
Yeah, but you're doing increase, right, Norman?
Sorry? Yeah,
so you're robbing your demeries to do increase. You're more or less, your demeries were more like resource hives. See, that was part of what I did this year, was that I demeried them. And if I needed 10 medium frames for brood frames for my cell builder. And I put all that, I had all them hives with all them brood frames, and I went and tried to pick like one or two out of each one. And I built up my cell builder. And then after getting my cells up running, then I had 25 to 32 framers out there. I didn't want to put solid brood frames in my 2-frame mating boxes. I went into the brood boxes and I found frames that was like partial brood and food and a little bit of everything on that 1 or 2 frames. Maybe one frame might be a little bit open. And that's where I would pull those 2 frames and with the bees and fill those mate boxes up that way, and did it that way. That seemed to work for me. But what I was getting at is that I think maybe partial of why I don't have a lot of honey this year is because I didn't have as many honey hives as in production, full production, and I was pulling some resources off of them, trying to get these queens and cell builders up and running and all that stuff. So that might have been part of my problem also, was me pulling too many resources.
I think next year, right now I'm at 28 hives, like solid double hives. I think I'm not going to mess with any of them next year. They're going to all be production hives in my main yard. And what I'm doing with, you said you watched the video when I'm doing the, with the little mini 5 frames, try and grow them out to where they'll be into at least a deep. And then I'm going to take all of those and set them on top of all of the main hives to overwinter them with.
Oh, okay. So you're going to put a double screen board on.
Yeah. So I'm going to double screen all of them. So I'm going to have my 28 main hives, but then I'm going to have however many I go into winter with. It's going to be around 20 to 25 on top of all of those hives. It's like a nuke, overwintering a nuke, I guess.
Yeah.
You would call it.
Right.
And then if one of the bottom hives doesn't make it, but the nuke did, I could just yank the double screen hive there, or vice versa. If the nuke didn't make it up top, yank it, and now they have a super ready. But whatever makes it, whatever the overwintered nukes, I'm just going to pull off the top that maybe start a new yard or maybe start my queen rearing with, and not touch the bottom main hives at all, unless except for like pulling frames out to keep them from swarming, like just rotate some stuff out.
Well, that's just like what Bob Benny did in his couple of weeks ago in his videos. He had his the nuke upstairs with that cell he had put in, which was that this year's queen. And then he came back and he pinched the old queen in the bottom of the boxes. He had honey supers in between the middle. And then all he did was pull that box off the top with that fresh queen mated and put everybody downstairs, and bing bang boom, done. And I think what you're doing there is the same thing. You get them the heat, they get through the winter, and then she gets built up nicely, and you have a dead out, no problem. Just put her on down the next box, or the hive over next door, or wherever it needs to go.
Yeah, it's the reason. Like I'm debating that, or like I've been thinking, like that's what I'm going to do, because last year I overwintered like a softball sized cluster of bees over top another hive. They made it through winter, and I'm like, okay. And we had kind of a bad spell of winter that last year.
Our winter was cold. Yeah,
and I was like, if I can do that, then getting at least a single full deep of bees through the winter shouldn't be that much harder. So
yeah, I mean, it's all about that heat above the main big hive, and people have been doing that for quite a while. I know that Benny has talked about that in past videos also.
Yeah.
Well, I have a beautiful woman who's cooked me a wonderful dinner.
I hear the pots and pans are clanking in the back. Yeah, it's a little after 10 right now. I'm getting ready to shut down the chat here in a few minutes. As soon as
thank you everybody in chat, and
all right, thanks Norman for stopping by. We will catch you later.
Take care, guys.
Yeah. So yeah, that will work for sure. You already proved that to yourself.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of future proofing my next year's crop, because like if one of them doesn't make it, just yank the double screen, and then now I got a hive again. I still got a hive, and whatever does make it, I could just pull off and either sell them as nukes or use them to prepare my 5-frame nukes for queen rearing.
Yeah.
But definitely I don't think I'm going to do Demarys next year. I think I'm going to just top super. Because I did 4 Demarys this year and 3 of them failed. So one of them requeened themselves, and that just made a whole nother hive for me. I just took that whole deep off and I set it off somewhere else on a board and made a new hive. Then the other 2, I don't think they failed. I think it's just the flow wasn't strong enough, because I did the traditional Demery where it's just you take one on top and let them backfill it.
Hey, Brock.
I don't think the flow was strong enough for them to do that.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and shut the chat down, and we will see you all next Friday. Joey's has his tomorrow night at 7:30 Central, and Bill has his 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Monday. So we will catch you all later.
See you.